Welcome to Drive Time. Here we are, Thanksgiving week. And if you had told us before the season that we would get to Thanksgiving week and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would have more wins than the Seattle Seahawks, more wins than the Dallas Cowboys, and actually be contenders in the NFC, I would have probably suggested some medication. Jenna, it's hard to believe.
Well, and they were able to capitalize on the fact that not just Chip Kelly and his group have just completely lost morale. They didn't look motivated to play yesterday, but also the NFC East this year isn't what we thought it was going to be. We have some weaker opponents that we're seeing there. So the Bucs are able to capitalize that. They're also able to capitalize a little bit too, I think, on a weaker AFC South. So combine all that, they're right in the thick of things. And it's very, very, very uncommon. In fact, I don't remember the last time I saw this, but the Bucs are actually contenders now for the playoffs. And you're starting to see on television, they're in the mix of things. They're in the thick of things, a 500 ball club.
You know, when you look at the schedule and you look ahead, you have to say to yourself, why not? They're heading to Indianapolis. They're going to take on a Colts team that has struggled, although actually
they haven't lost under Matt Hasselbeck.
They haven't lost with Matthew Hasselbeck, but they're going to go face them. Then you've got Atlanta coming in. They haven't played well. Then you've got New Orleans coming in. There's an opportunity to win a couple of games there and put themselves right into the wild card mix. And who would have thunk it? And they go into Philadelphia. Well-executed game plan, offensively, defensively, everything done well. We've taken time this year questioning some of the things the coaching staff has done. But right now, they do appear to have this team where they need to be.
And those two opponents that you talk about in the Falcons and the Saints, the Bucs have already beaten them on the road. So they've already taken care of the hard part. I think that home field advantage that we've talked about that the Bucs have lost, now that they're a 500 ball club playing a really exciting brand of football, I think those fans are going to come back. I mean, Jameis Winston yesterday going out and throwing 5 touchdowns to 5 different targets. This was after 2 straight weeks of him failing to throw a touchdown. Then you combine that with the fact that this defense, 2 marquee guys on this team, really stepped it up this week. Levante David had 2 interceptions, including a pick 6 to help close out that game. And Gerald McCoy, your other high-profile guy on defense, he had 1.5 sacks. Everything is really starting to come together for this team. You got to give that coaching staff and those players a lot of credit for it.
And let's not forget about Doug Martin, because the only way to stop that guy is not to give him the football.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a record-breaking performance for him. He is really starting to show, actually, he has shown that the last 2 years, by the way, his rushing total now has eclipsed that of the last 2 years combined. I know he had a shoulder injury in there as well, but last year he just did not look like the same guy that he was his rookie season. A lot of that is on the offensive line too, but those 2 units, Martin, the running game, and the offensive line, they deserve a lot of credit yesterday too, so glad you mentioned those.
Last time we talked about the Bucs in this space, we talked about Lovie Smith saying this is the time of year when good teams elevate themselves. Well, in Philadelphia, they elevated themselves. Now, we're Buccaneers supporters, we're Buccaneers followers. We're not expecting the best yet. We are expecting something to go wrong.
Not saying we're expecting an anvil to drop. I know you say that is the plight of New York Jets fans, and I think there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, they dropped an anvil on my head this week again.
Well, and mine too. But you know what, though? We're going to sit back and we're going to see where this things go. But you have to like the direction that this ball club is going. And oh my gosh, how different this offense looks just when you put Vincent Jackson out there. Even if he's not out there the entire game, it really changes the complexion of that offense. Jameis Winston looks so much more comfortable. And Mike Evans, he benefits from all that. You saw the way he looked. Those drops and everything, not having those whopping number of targets, it's a much better looking offense now too.
It's Thanksgiving week, and the Buccaneers are good. Be thankful.